Hey everybody, it's Shadowstar and Crystal here for another Arrow discussion. This time it is Three Ghosts, the mid-season finale of this season and a Christmas-themed episode 9 season 2 specifically. And well, last episode ended on a cliffhanger, so let's pick right up where it left off with Barry. More Barry. Barry knows who Oliver is now. And yeah, that was a good opening scene. I mean, we get once again Barry using his brain, and then we get a confrontation with Barry and Oliver.
Yeah, Oliver doesn't trust him because he didn't choose to reveal him.
And Barry kind of sticks around for most of the episode, even though this time there's a lot less focus on him except for the end. And I like that. Honestly, Barry he fits so well in. I love that. I love just seeing him and Felicity team working.
This is how you do a B team.
I know, it's like a setup for a B team, even though it's Barry who will become much more important as we saw at the end. But speaking of that...
Not really, you could just assume he died at the end.
Oh, come on, you'd have to be living under a rock not to know who that is.
True.
We all know who that is, but let's not beat around the bush. Obviously, this episode, and I suppose the previous one, was basically setting up the Flash.
Yep.
The fact that which means that technically the Flash is a spin-off in a way. They set it up, and I love that. I love the fact that they used this season to set up a whole show.
Yeah, it's a great idea. The only annoying thing is we gotta wait 9 more months of showtime to actually watch The Flash.
The interesting thing, I will say, and this isn't what happens, this is what originally they planned it as, they weren't going to have a full pilot for The Flash. Instead, Barry was going to wake up in a future episode of Season 2.
Okay.
They later changed that and gave it an appearance for something else, which we'll get to. But yeah, but then they decided, no, we want it to be a big proper thing. But yeah, but like I said, Barry just fits so well. I love seeing him side by side with Felicity. He has some good moments, and there's a lot more foreshadowing of characters and things that'll be important, like they name drop Harrison Wells and...
Yeah, even though Felicity said even though Barry could sense that she likes Oliver,
they're still toying with the idea of her...
Yeah, at the end, he still says, look, if you ever decide you don't want Oliver, I'm here.
Yeah, and, we'll have fun comparing that scene to when we see it again, but yeah, there wasn't a huge amount, but like I said, Barry doesn't do a lot in this episode except for that ending, and but that's fine. He fits well in the background. It works. But I suppose we'll move on to... What else should we move on to? Shall we move on to the big stuff? One of the big stuff. Let's talk about the flashbacks.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, first we see Slade die, or at least at first.
We recapture the last scene, which is often that's the best way to do things. Sometimes they won't stick things into previously. They'll just re-show a scene sometimes.
Yeah.
Except now they continue on with it. But yeah, obviously Ivo finds the whole bunch of Mirakuru, and as we saw last episode, Slade was injected with Mirakuru, and is but he survives, and now he has it in him. As we saw, he's completely insane and crazy.
But yeah, Ivo makes Oliver choose which girl dies.
Yeah,
although he doesn't really choose. Ivo acts like he made his choice, but really, he was just jumping in front of the one that currently had the gun pointed at.
He would have known that whatever he did, Ivo could have just shot the other one, so he still essentially made a choice, as Ivo said.
I guess so.
Yeah, but, he does... I mean, look, from Oliver's perspective, as horrible as that decision is, you can understand him choosing Sarah over Shadow.
I guess so.
I mean, he's known Sarah longer. How horrible it would have been if he chose Shadow, and then, he gets back off this island and says, sorry, Sarah's dead, I had a chance to not let her die.
Yeah, exactly. Sarah has people missing her that she needs to get home to.
I mean, it's a long time, but we do find out more about Shadow's family.
Well, from Oliver's perspective...
He doesn't know that, though.
All she has is a dead father.
Yeah, but, yeah, it is a pivotal moment, and, as I've said the past few episodes and last season, Shadow was a good character.
Yeah.
Shadow was a good character, and, that's it, but as we saw at the end of the last episode and in this episode, obviously, we've been pushing towards the fact that Slade also had feelings for Shadow, which comes full force in the ending.
Yeah, definitely.
But speaking of Slade, we'll get more into him in a minute. Or actually, we'll get into him now. We find out that Slade is alive in the present, which the show flip-flop, well, not show, but it keeps toying with whether or not he's alive.
Because he appeared as a ghost.
He appears as a hallucination, and you've got to remember, Oliver assumes he's dead, which still tells us something about the flashback.
Yeah, that means that, but Oliver saw... He held Shadow's body, and Oliver and Sarah were still there to tell him that Ivo killed her.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. Remember, Oliver in the present thinks Slade is dead.
And yet, Oliver knows that he didn't die from the Mirakuru thing.
Yeah, but here's the good part is, at the time of when he said he's dead, they hadn't shown him alive again, so you first thought, oh, he did die in Mirakuru. But then there's a twist where he gets up. So now if you still hold that information in your head, it leaves you questioning the flashbacks even more.
Yeah, because you think, well, Oliver thinks he's dead, so he's got to die.
Exactly, or at least seemingly die.
Yeah, because once we see the ending, we think, well, now he has to appear to die but actually survive.
Exactly, but, and I suppose you could start to figure it out, because obviously you can see Slade going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, speaking of the present spoiling the flashbacks, when Ivo made him choose the girls, I at first thought, well, we know it has to be Shadow who dies
Sarah's alive.
Sarah's alive.
But then
present.
also, before we see the conclusion of that decision, we do get Shadow as a ghost as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But speaking of Slade in the present, we find out he's in the present, and he's the one who's been controlling Sebastian Blood and the whole plot all along.
Yeah.
Which,
And that explains how he got the Mirakuru. He takes it from his blood.
Exactly, but, we're just building to the big stuff now. And it's so fun to fight. But, it's so fun to finally see Slade in the present, and we'll get to that more. But...
Yeah, but when they appear as ghosts, I can kind of understand Slade's ghost saying you should join us and die. But why did Shadow's ghost say
I mean, you've got to think about it. They're not real ghosts. It's all in Oliver's head.
Why would Oliver's imagination of Shadow say that he...
It's a symbol of the mind. When Shadow is the first ghost he sees, when he's still on the table, it's like a mixture of his brain saying, should I give up and let myself go now?
No, not just that, but in the house she was there.
That's it. Well, at that point she wasn't say die, though. She said you should come with us and die. When he was on the table. No, when she was in house, she didn't say die, but she did say stop fighting.
No, I think she did say you should join us.
I'm pretty sure she didn't. She just said stop fighting. At least, honestly, I can't remember, but I'm certain that's what she said, which at least would make more sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which makes Oliver question everything, and then we get the Slade thing, which... anytime there's a hallucination or someone fighting with something that isn't really there, you always have to question, what the hell did it look like in real life?
Yeah, but that's the problem. We as viewers see the hallucination.
Yeah, I know, but everything is still everything is still smashed.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, Slade up and flipped a table.
Exactly, who flipped that table? It's not like, okay, you can assume, okay, when he was fighting with Slade, you could say, okay, Oliver just smashed into the case and was going crazy. But who flipped the table? Oh, well. And then, of course, the final ghost we see tying him to title is Tommy. The weird thing is, I mean, it's not really a nitpick per se, but obviously the title 3 ghosts and the fact that it's at Christmas ties in with the Christmas Carol. But they're not really parallels of past, present, and future.
Yeah.
Because obviously, how would Tommy represent the future? I suppose...
Well, not in that order. Slade could be the future because he's alive.
That's a fair point, or it's more of a symbolic thing of their message is the past, present, and future. Shadow is reminding him of his failures in the past. Slade is making him question his present stuff, and Tommy is the one saying, get up and live. It's not about the people, it's about the symbolism.
That's amazing, you're smart.
Yeah, maybe... Haha, I stole your job of thinking about the title. But we also have...
See, people, English class, when they tell you to look at symbolism, it does come in handy.
It's more literature class.
Yeah, true.
But there was a lot in this episode. Not only did Shadow die, but we also had... I mean, this isn't as big of a character, but it is a recurring side character that Quentin's superior or partner, whatever it is, dead.
Oh, yeah.
Because, we have... Because obviously we have another...
Yeah, he calls him a partner at one point, but he's clearly a superior.
That's what I was thinking. I thought superior until I saw the word partner.
Yeah, because wasn't he the one that made the decision to, what's the opposite
Demote
of
him.
promote?
Yeah.
Yeah, demote him.
Yeah, but, we do get a little side plot with the police confronting Cyrus Gold, the big, crazy one with Mirakuru in him. And then speaking of the Mirakuru plot, at first we have a little plot of, Thea and Sin and all that investigating, and they get a little help from Laurel. Once again, Laurel was fine in this episode, thank goodness.
Yeah, she was useful. She was cool.
Yeah, it was a nice little Laurel scene, not too much happened. We got some callbacks to last Christmas episode. And and then it ends with Roy investigating the whole thing.
And then he gets injected with Mirakuru.
Yeah, and then he gets kidnapped and injected. And as Oliver says, although he's alive, keep an eye on him.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on him.
Which tells us that keep that in the head, keep that going in your head.
Keep an eye on him. Yeah, it's not over.
But I think that pretty much covers it.
We should touch on how the a deleted scene shows that Sebastian Blood reveals to Laurel.
Yeah, I have to point out that obviously it does get revealed eventually, but not in this episode.
Yeah,
but
he grew
originally,
up in the foster home.
Yeah, a deleted scene reveals that this episode would have revealed that he was in a foster home. Don't worry, we're going to find out that soon, so it's not a huge spoiler, because otherwise it will get... Yeah.
And I love the wording he says, and I found many brothers
Yeah,
here.
I like that. But... Also, whenever he says brothers and blood, it just makes me think of a villain from Flash, but we'll get to that a long time from now.
Okay.
You haven't seen it, which this is going to be fun. But speaking of the Flash, we saw that final ending. And one other note I have to say is Oliver got his mask, which I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
No more of that stupid grease paint on his face, which just looks so dumb.
Yeah, that was dumb.
But I think, have we covered everything?
I suppose so.
Yeah, there was some nice other little deleted scenes. I really like that we're finally seeing, not just Roy, but now Thea's getting along with Sin. Yeah, like I said, I enjoy Sin as a character.
Thea finally had some common sense and said, hey, stay in the house. The house is huge. We have guest bedrooms. I have a fireplace and a couch in my bedroom.
Yeah, Thea's got everything.
And you don't even need the couch because we have guest bedrooms.
Yeah, I know, but I love I love all those scenes with Sin. She's just a good character, and I'm glad, I like seeing her friendship with Thea.
If Thea weren't around, she would be a great match for Roy.
Yeah, well, I don't know. People have theories about Sin, but it's never really revealed. But that's just cliche.
I guess.
But, I think we've really pretty much covered it up. We have the ongoing plot of Sebastian Blood, which now we know who's working for. We've set up the ongoing plot. That's the thing. Mid-season finales, usually they pretty much give you a big reveal or piece of information that sets up the rest of the main plot. Think of in the first season, we find out who the Dark Archer is and we learn about the list. This time, we learn Sebastian Blood is not the true villain, he's working for Slade.
Yeah,
and Slade's our villain. But, yeah. But, anyway, we've pretty much covered it, and it was a really good episode.
It was. I think I'll go as high as 7.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Wow.
It's such a big episode.
I'll go 7.5.
It is a big episode, both for setting up, and it actually was a very action-packed episode. Last episode wasn't as action-packed, but if you think about it, this episode and the last episode are very much a two-parter, if you think about it.
I guess, in a way.
You've got Barry, and, the Mirakuru stuff starts in last episode, and we got to him, and now he does kill Cyrus Gold, so if you think about it, we had the same villain over 2 episodes.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a lot of... Yeah, so these 2 episodes are pretty much connected, but this one's a much better episode. Like I said, mid-season finales are like finales. They usually rank highly, so I'm giving this a 9.
I'll stick with 7.5.
Alright, well, I think the next episode is episode 10, Blast Radius. I remembered that off the top of my head.
Wow.
Yeah, but we will see you next time for episode 10. This season is really picking up. I'm loving it. Yeah?
Yep.
If you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And we'll see you next time for episode 10 of season 2.
See you there.